Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. This session focuses on primary education in Pakistan and language issues. I hope and expect by the end of this session, you would have an understanding of what kind of language issues are associated with the primary education in Pakistan. Well, my dear students, the standard national system of education is mainly inspired by the British system. So, as it was during the British Raj, it has been continued in the same way. As far as the language policy at primary level is concerned, there are certain issues that are related to the status of regional languages and the national language. Because, there are different stakeholders who are a part of the primary education policy making processes. Provinces have their own stakes in it, whereas the federal government, in terms of, the national interest, has its own stakes. Issues of national identity, language policy, and education gather further significance when the tussle between the center and the provinces arises. So, for example, when it comes to the situation in Pakistan, UNESCO Institute of Statistics claims as of 2009, Pakistan faces a net primary school attendance rate for both sexes of 66%, a figure below estimated world average of 90%. This is one of the aspects of the education at primary level in Pakistan. Low attendance that is caused by various economic factors, various social factors that are involved, especially in the lower classes. Sending children to school is not thought of as something very serious or something very important. So, when on the one hand, this is the social context of all this, there are issues related to the government choices. A low level of public investment is found. Public expenditure on education has been 2.2% of the GNP in the recent years. And, there is a need to focus on education in general and on primary education, in terms of provision of funds, etc., especially. As I've already said, lower income class is not much motivated to send their children to school, which of course is related to the socioeconomic conditions of the country. Even after, for example, getting their primary education or even their secondary education, the chances of getting into any kind of training or vocational training or jobs are very less. So the low income parents do not feel much motivated to send their children to school. And even if these children are sent to school, there are issues in terms of language, because there is a very small, I would say, urbanized population in Pakistan that sends its children, or that can afford sending its children to English medium primary level education schools in Pakistan, where the fees are extremely high and the stream of education mainly focuses or prefers English as a medium of instruction. On the other hand, majority in Pakistan, especially in the rural context, sends their children to public sector schools, the government sector schools, where the conditions of teaching learning are in themselves very poor, and when it comes to language choices, Urdu is the medium of instruction. So a very major kind of bifurcation is created at the primary level of education between the elite class and the low income class in Pakistan through the provision of facilities and the use of language at primary level for children.